Now, there's another story I want to talk about. We always hear about toxicity in the fandom and how something's toxic because somebody has an opinion on a movie. And I've long said, if you think that anything going on in geek culture is toxic because somebody was mean to you online or they said something mean, you aren't built for sports fandom. Now, something awful happened over the weekend. Now, I wasn't aware of this incident until today, but apparently during the LSU-Alabama game, there was at a bar, which is somewhere I don't go for these reasons. Alcohol involved, people get crazy, they get worked up, emotions. Two LSU fans beat the hell out of an Alabama fan over a football game. And the Alabama fan was put in the hospital, and today he died due to injuries from that fight. Now that is fucking bullshit. That is unacceptable in every single aspect. And so, we can't accept violence. We can't accept this type of stuff. This is crazy. Like this dude's like in his mid-40s and he's dead now. He's dead. And all because people were drinking. They were taking shit too seriously. Like, I'm the biggest sports fan in the world. It's not that serious. It really isn't. And, we definitely need to make sure that type of shit does not bleed over into, any type of other fandom, and sports fandom needs to chill the fuck out. So what are your thoughts on that, Kelly? Just in general of toxicity in the fandom and how people are handling it and things like that.
I just think it's unfortunate that there's ever a point where we've grown so much, I think as a society, as a culture, as a species overall, that there's ever a point where we can't actually have an open conversation about things. And it's just scary to hear things in the news like this, a headline like this, where it actually gets to this level. I'm a big fan of, the pen is mightier than the sword. I think that when it comes down to it, I would like to think that we're evolved enough to actually have these conversations. And I think a lot of the time, the biggest problem and the biggest lapse is in not being able to actually have a thought out discussion with someone that actually has an opposing viewpoint. And I think that is kind of the cause of most of the divide right now. And yes, of course, people are wired differently. People have different values. And when it comes to things like fandom, whether that's sports fandom, gaming fandom, and whether you're a fan of anything, you're going to have hardwired feelings about that. And I've experienced it in my own small way compared to, of course, everything else that's going on. And whether it's politics or movies or science, there's always going to be differing viewpoints and completely different walks of life that are coming together. And I think the biggest thing we could hope for in something like this is for people to see that and to be able to take something away from it, at least. I mean, to not have someone die in vain ever. Of course, it's such a complicated issue. It's hard to even say anything really about it other than it's very unfortunate. And I hope that we can continue to grow and learn from situations like this one.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. For anybody that's looking for an update, because I know a lot of you are just joining us because we are on a different time today, because I'm usually live streaming at 5 or 6 and we're doing it early. And so many of you have already said, I can't make it today. But so if anybody's just jumping in, I was talking about how we're hearing this constant thing about toxicity in the geek culture fandom and Star Wars fandom. And I've long said, like, you don't know toxicity if you don't know anything about sports fandom. And it's bad. And it's very bad. And so over the weekend during the LSU-Alabama game at a bar, I think in Louisiana, an Alabama fan was jumped by two LSU fans over an argument during the game, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And that Alabama fan was pronounced dead today due to injuries from the assault. And so we hear, we see a lot of stuff that's going on. And yeah, that is crazy. I know there's been a lot of people that have, been saying what's going to happen at Star Wars Celebration. I don't have any concerns about that. I'm not, I am not a violent person. I'm not looking for any of that to happen. I keep myself out of situations that I can't control or situations that I think is going to be a bad situation. I've learned to do that in life. So that's why I don't really put myself around alcohol or other people that are drinking alcohol because they lose control. And I'm not really interested in all of that, but It's crazy, man. So thoughts and prayers out to his family, because it's crazy, man. The dude was like in his mid-40s, and now he's dead. He was just trying to enjoy a football game, and now he's dead. That's insane.